Good evening. My name is Pierluigi Olivero, and I'm the chair. Welcome to the Planning Commission meeting. Parking validation machine is at the top of the stairs. Wait for the light to be green when you insert it. Following roll call, we will review how the public may provide comment. Now we will turn and salute the flag in our Pledge of Allegiance. In unison. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Commissioner Lardenois.
Here.
Commissioner Barosio.
Here.
Commissioner Cantrell.
Here.
Commissioner Casey.
Here.
Commissioner Garcia. Commissioner Rosario. Commissioner Young.
Here.
Commissioner Tordillos.
Here.
And I know Commissioner Ornelas Wise will be absent. If you want to address the commission, please fill out a speaker card. They're located on the tables on the first floor or at the top floor, and deposit them in the basket. The procedure for this hearing is as follows. After staff's presentations, applicants or an appellant may have 5 minutes. During public comment, the chair will call out names on the submitted speaker cards. As your name is called, please line up on the stairs. For those who attend by web meeting, the meeting technician will connect those persons who desire to speak to the commission so they may be heard. Generally, each speaker will be given up to 2 minutes, and speakers using a translator will have double the time. At the discretion of the chair, the time allotted to each speaker may be changed depending on time management of the meeting. After the public testimony, the applicant or appellant may make closing remarks for up to an additional 5 minutes. Planning commissioners may ask questions of the speakers. The public hearing will then be closed, and the Planning Commission will then discuss and vote. If you challenge these land use decisions in court, you may be limited to raising only those issues you or someone else raised at the public hearing or in written correspondence delivered to the city or prior to the public hearing. The Planning Commission's actions on rezonings, pre-zonings, general plan amendments, and code amendments is advisory to the City Council. The City Council will hold public hearings on these items. Section 20.120.400 of the Municipal Code provides procedures for legal protests to the City Council on rezonings and pre-zonings. The Planning Commission's actions on conditional use permits is appealable to the City Council in accordance with Section 20.100.220 of the Municipal Code. Agendas and staff reports for this meeting may be accessed on the City website. And now we will call the order of the day. And before we begin, I want to remind the Planning Commission members of the public to follow our code of conduct displayed on the agenda. Public speakers will not engage in a conversation with commissioners or staff. All members of the commission, staff, and public are expected to refrain from abusive language. Failure to comply may result in removal of the meeting. The meeting of the Planning Commission will now come to order. And before then, I think as we have a hearing before us, does anyone want to report any ex parte communication regarding tonight's agenda? I don't think I see any. And welcome, Commissioner Rosario. So now is the time for public comment on items that are not on the agenda but pertain to municipal government. The Commission cannot take any action on such an item without the item being properly noticed and placed on the agenda, nor may the suggested item be in the purview of the Planning Commission. Web administrator, do we have any people online that wish to speak during public comment?
We do have one hand raised.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if it's my item or not. I may mistakenly raise hand early. Sorry for that.
I take it that's no public comment?
Yes, no public comment.
Okay, great. So now we'll move on to the consent calendar. The consent calendar has multiple items. We can take that motion as one motion for all items. That still allows members of the public to comment on any particular item or a commissioner to make a comment on those items. Do we have a motion for the consent calendar?
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, great. Now we'll turn to staff, the web administrator, and see if there's any members of the public that wish to speak on the consent calendar. Items A, B, C, D.
We do not have any hands raised.
Okay, and are there any comments from my fellow commissioners before we vote on this consent calendar? Don't see any. I will call the roll. Commissioner Lardenois.
Yes.
Commissioner Barroso,
Yes.
Commissioner Cantrell,
Yes.
Commissioner Casey,
Yes.
Commissioner Garcia, Commissioner Rosario,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Tordillos,
Yes.
myself, yes. And we shall display the vote. And in interim of it being displayed, it was unanimous, so I will now move on to the public hearing. Item 5, PDC 20-0017, PD 20-0010, and PT 20-031. This is now time for staff.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Angela Wang, Planning Project Manager with Planning, Building, and Co-Enforcement. The project in front of you tonight is a Plan Development Zoning, file number PDC 20-017, a Plan Development Permit, file number PD 20-010, and a vesting tentative map, file number PT 20-031. The Plan Development Zoning is to rezone the site from APD Plan Development Zoning District to a MUN Plan Development Zoning District. The Plan Development Permit is to allow the demolition of the existing single-family house, the removal of 7 ordinance-sized trees and 4 non-ordinance-sized trees, and the construction of 8 3-story single-family detached residences on an approximately 0.43 gross acre site. The vesting tentative map is to subdivide the project site into 9 lots, including 8 single-family residential lots and 1 common lot. The site is surrounded by 2-story apartment building to the north, an industrial building to the east, a single-family residence and a community care licensed home to the south, and single-family residences to the west across Elm Street. The site has a general plan land use designation of MUN mixed-use neighborhood. Per the 2040 general plan, the designation should be used to provide transition between higher density and lower density neighborhoods, and allowable density may be up to 30 dwelling units per acre. The proposed 8 small lot single-family residential development would provide a transition between the conventional single-family house to the south and the apartment buildings to the north, and does not exceed the maximum density of 30 units per acre. Implementing this residential development would require specific development standards deviating from the conventional R1A single-family residence district development regulations, including reduced lot area and width, reduced setbacks, and a greater number of stories. The planned development rezoning would result in a transitional development form between the single-family homes and the higher density multifamily development, and therefore better conforms to the general plan goals and policies than the conventional zoning districts. The project is also consistent with the residential design guidelines and the City Council outreach policies. An initial study and mitigating negative declaration was prepared for the project. The initial study and mitigating negative declaration concluded that with implementation of the identified mitigation measures, the project would not result in any significant and unavoidable environmental impacts. Therefore, based on the analysis in the staff report, staff recommend the Planning Commission to recommend City Council to adopt a resolution adopting the mitigating negative declaration for the project, approve an ordinance rezoning the site from APD zoning district to a MUN Plan Development Zoning District, adopt a resolution approving the vesting tentative map, and adopt a resolution approving the proposed plan development permit. This concludes the staff's report. Thank you.
Thank you. And then are there any, I don't have any cards from the public here for our web administrator. Are there any hands raised on this item?
No, there are not.
Okay, great. And any comments from the commissioners? I see none. And then just staff real quick.
Oh,
go
we
ahead.
did have one hand.
Oh,
just
we have
raised.
one. Okay, great.
Okay, Nina, go ahead and unmute your device.
Is this the time for the applicant to speak or later?
That's a great point. So staff, their applicant is not in person. Is that what I'm taking?
Yeah.
The applicant's actually online?
Nina is the applicant.
Online.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, then we would love to hear from the applicant. My apologies. Normally I'm used to that physical presence as someone presenting here, but yes, this would be the time to present if you are the applicant. You have up to 5 minutes.
Okay, thanks for giving me this opportunity. So good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, and committee member. This is Nina. I want to give you some background regarding this project. 4 years ago, 8 families got together and wanted to build 8 homes for each one of us. We're all hardworking families. Some family, never own a home in their entire life. Some family live in a small old house that needs major repair work. Some family just want to build a home so they can retire with friends and be together. And some family just really want to build a home belong to themselves so they can be with their grandparents or their grandchildren. And none of us had ever done this before. This is the first time for all of us to build our own home. And we just have a great dream for this project. But actually, so far, this project takes us so long. It takes us so stressful. After 3.5 years, we finally got to this stage. So I just want everybody to know our background, why we apply for this project. And I hope the committee member can consider we all have a big dream, want to make the community better and approve this project. Okay. I know there are some other owners because I'm one of the owners. Some other owners also want to speak, so I will end and give the opportunity to other owners to speak.
Thank you. I take it you're not going to use your entire 5 minutes?
We have other owners. They are going to use the rest minute.
Got it. Multiple people presenting. Okay. And are they there with you or who's speaking?
They should raise their hand as well.
Okay, so maybe they can talk to the item under public comment, or what should we do here, staff?
The applicant could yield or provide the extra time to the other owners wishing to speak, or if it's at the chair's option, if you'd like to do it during public comment.
Sure. I mean, what are the names of the people?
Let's see.
I think the person already raised the hand from. So it's Harrison Zhou.
Yeah, it looks like Harrison Zhu and wenni.
Yeah.
Did the web administrator hear that? On those?
Okay,
There
yeah.
we go. Great, thank you.
Okay, I got it. Hey, appreciate the opportunity. Yeah, this is Harrison Zhou, and I'm one of the owner. So basically, I'm working for the tech company and in the Bay Area. Basically, it's thanks for the opportunity. Really appreciate for the community support. We wish actually my wife and I we want to like to invest into this our future home and help the community, and we want to like to retire and also. This is a new home right now. We are stay. Yeah, it's kind of like a quite very old home. We actually want to help the community building environment, and also we want to move in once ready. Hopefully, this project can be approved. Thanks very much, and for the opportunity to speak here.
I believe there's one additional person she mentioned.
Right, I think probably this is Wenni.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Thank you to give me this opportunity to speak up. Actually, this is the first time I joined this public hearing. My name is Wenni. I am one of this owner for this project. about 3.5 years ago, I heard about this great idea to aid the families. We can, build a home together. For myself, because I am reaching my retirement age, so I wanted to, live with my friends, some people I know for a long time. So after retirement, so we can help each other, take care of each other, whenever we need. So, but I, to be honest with you, it's living in the Bay Area it's very costly, and I put all my money I saved for in the past 20 years into this house, and I want to see this is my first, this is my retire place. But it has been 3.5 years, and I understand this is like a COVID issues, which, change a lot of things, make a lot of things delay. But I do like to see if anybody can help us to, push this project to going forward, so we can, make our dream comes true. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Web Administrator, do we have anyone that's have a raised hand for public comment on this item? I think we have two. What's the checking back with the web administrator of the meeting to allow public comment.
The web administrators just say he lost the internet connection.
Okay.
How can we promote the public?
That individual has lost their connection, and so they're
Yeah.
logging back in. Okay, we'll just wait a minute for public comment. The applicant has provided testimony. We could turn to the commission in the interim period before we go to public comment if there's any questions. I don't think I see any questions from the commissioners. Nope. Then we'll just wait for... And I have no cards here, so there's no one in the chamber that wants to speak on this item, correct? Nope. That's the case. So we just have our two people online.
Chair, I wonder if the two more speakers are just two more owners that didn't get a
I
chance.
recognize one
Okay.
as a well, that they might be an owner, but I recognize that's someone from the neighborhood, but I don't know the other offhand. I will take a question for staff. Staff, historically, the city had a flag lot policy. Is this considered a flag lot?
This is not a flag lot. Yeah.
It
This
doesn't
is
meet the
a-
definition of a flag lot as you know it, correct?
Well, it may, the flag lot is defined as having a corridor connected to the street of 20 feet or less in width. To the extent that this may do that, the city is currently required to allow for the required density for a project that's allowed by the general plan. And so the flag lot policy sometimes conflicts with the city's requirement to now do that. So in a sense, it is a flag lot, but really flag lots are more of an issue when there's a large single-family house with a wide lot and there's a narrow corridor that allows for a house to be built in the back of that house, and that changes the neighborhood character. In this case, as Angela mentioned, this is a transitional density project from the single-family houses on one side to the higher density on the other. So in this case, the flag lot policy wouldn't preclude the general plan from being implemented here as envisioned.
Right, and just to reiterate to staff's point, this isn't a street of all single-family homes. This is a mixed use of several apartments, et cetera.
That's
Okay,
right.
Thank you. We have a card from the public. Very excited to hear from you. It's blank, but come on up. You're welcome. You're more than welcome to tell us your name when you come on up, if you like to. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Hi.
Hi.
I live in the neighborhood of the address that we're talking about. I wondered two things. If there's ownership in an LLC or an ownership entity of some sort that is going to see these phases of development. And also, secondarily, but still very important, where's the parking in that plan?
Okay. And thank you for that. Any other comments on the project or just those questions you had? And it's not a dialogue, so I have to just take in all your input.
Are you talking to her or me?
No, yourself. Just maximizing your time.
I'd like to see something good happen. It sounds good. It's been a few years that it's dormant. We have a problem with people gaining access. I was friends with the former tenants. I try to keep up with their mail that still comes. And I notice things happening on the site that I don't know who to call. But they have been up to and including starting fires on the property. I've seen that 2 different times, and it was not a fire to keep warm. It was broad daylight, and it was very suspicious, you know, and they didn't run away. So I don't know if they were people that were trying to make an encampment. So I'd like to see and hear more about the project going through. I think if the parking is handled in some way, shape, or form, because we're already pretty tight, that would be great. Those are my comments.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see if our web administrator has returned, has an internet connection again.
If not, Mr. Chair, I can suggest that Ms. Allen send me an email. I could provide my email address and I could read her comment if we don't have a connection established.
So the administrator of our web meeting still is not able to get online. Is that correct?
Apparently so.
And
Yeah, that's right.
And that's the only method to allow a person to speak, correct? Hey, well, let's give that a shot there. We got
Okay.
Oh, and
AV to the rescue.
while we're waiting, my understanding from the staff report is that there are 20 parking spaces on site for this project, 2 per unit, and then 4 guest spaces.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Langlois.
Susan Allen, go ahead and unmute.
There was just a mute. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. This is Mr. Allen, John Allen. I live at 940 McKendree, just around the corner from this property. And this is the first time we've learned that it's sort of a owner-builder kind of a thing, and I'm very enthused about it. So I want to welcome these people to our neighborhood. And whenever you feel like it, stop by and talk to me. John and Susan Allen at 940 McKendree.
9:30.
9:30, excuse me.
Well, it's been 35 years.
As usual, my wife is more correct.
Thank you, John. Susan? And then we had one other raised hand, I believe.
That person has spoken before.
Okay, great. So I guess we've wrapped up public comment then. So now the applicant, remember we still have to give the applicant a chance to speak if they want. So applicant, did you have any comments to make after you've heard public comment?
Can I speak now?
Yes, welcome back.
Okay. I just really appreciate, the neighborhood, everything. And as I mentioned in the beginning, we're just 8 families, and we shared a lot of story how to make the community better and how to really build our own dream home and living there. So every one of us has a story behind us, why we want to do that. And everybody worked so hard to save money. So we really suffered a lot financially, if this project takes so long. But that's just, we definitely go through a lot of frustration and stress because the process, we never thought about the process would take that long. But again, we appreciate everything the neighborhood brought to us, and we definitely want to build a nice community in that neighborhood. We really like that neighborhood.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're back to the commission. I see no raised, I do have a raised hand. Commissioner Lardenois.
Yeah, just want to say I like this project. I personally live in a mixed density neighborhood. It sounds like the neighborhood that this project is in is already mixed density, and that this project would very gently densify a single lot. So I'm all on board. I'm going to make a motion to approve this.
Second.
Motion and a second. Commissioner Cantrell.
This sounds amazing. It just makes so much sense, and I'm really happy to see this moving forward. I'm disappointed that it's taken so long, and I know that can be challenging, but this is just simply amazing. And the welcoming from the neighborhood as well. I wish I could build next door. I'm definitely going to say yes to this.
Any other speakers? We will move to a roll call vote. Commissioner Lardenois.
Yes.
Commissioner Barroso.
Yes.
Commissioner Cantrell.
Definitely.
Commissioner Garcia. Commissioner Casey.
Yes.
Commissioner Rosario.
Yes.
Commissioner Torrijos.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Myself, yes. And that vote was unanimous. And for item 7, do we have a report from City Council?
Yes, we do, Mr. Chair. For June 6th and then June 5th and June 12th. June 5th, City Council approved conforming rezoning for several properties. First one to SB 1333. And June 13th, yesterday, the City Council approved the Berryessa projects located at 1655 Berryessa Road, the Facchino property. And then they also approved the amendment to Title 20, which is for the marijuana cannabis business ordinance. That's it.
Thank you. Any commission calendar study session updates?
None at this time.
Okay. Anything on the public record? I didn't see anything on the agenda. All right. Motion to adjourn. Have a good evening, everyone. See you in 2 weeks. Thank you very much. Thank you for participating, members of the public.